Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 3, which is entitled as Karma Yoga, Sloka 25 and 26. Sakta karmanya vidvamso yata kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvams tata saktaha chikishur loka sangraham न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत् अज्ञानां कर्मसङ्गिनां जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन्. Two things has been explained in this sloka. That is, what action should those who has full awareness of Atma do. Second, what action are done by those who doesn't have the full Atma Jnana. Number one, what the action is performed by those who has full awareness of Atma. Number two, what action is performed by those who doesn't have full awareness of Atma. How they perform a work and how does the other person perform their work. Ad vidvamsaha, vidvamsaha. Those are the two terms has been used on this particular 25th sloka. Vidvamsaha means those who has achieved the full knowledge of Atma. Avidvamsaha means the opposite of vidvamsaha, those who have not achieved the full knowledge of Atma. How do they perform their action? One with attachment, the other person does without attachment. That's how they perform the action. That's the answer has been given in this sloka. One with attachment are those people, avidvamsaha. They are the ones who have not achieved the full knowledge, Atmanana. One without attachment, which is with detachment, they are the ones who have achieved the Atma Jnana, the knowledge of full knowledge of the Atma. So for one to start Karma Yoga, there are no prerequisite. One can start without full Atma Jnana, still with some attachments and with no full self-control. That's absolutely fine. Again, this is just to start with. As they perform their Karma Yoga, gradually that will help them to get the full Atma Jnana, detachment and complete control of self. But the fundamental understanding is to start Karma Yoga, there is no prerequisite. But for one to start Jnana Yoga, the prerequisite are complete knowledge of Atma, detachment and full self-control. Else one can never start Jnana Yoga. This is the reason why Karma Yoga is way easier compared to Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means meditating on the Atma. If one doesn't have full understanding, knowledge of Atma, then how can they meditate continuously on their Atma? It's going to be impossible. Likewise, to start with Karma Yoga, one should have Atma Jnana, but not necessarily a complete knowledge. It is not expected to have full knowledge. That knowledge gradually comes as one practices the Karma Yoga, as this is just a beginning stage into the Karma Yoga. And the initial knowledge to do Karma Yoga is must. And that is explained also in Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter we saw. So with this basic fundamental knowledge of Atma, one should start Karma Yoga. But without the complete knowledge, self-control and detachment, one can never start Jnana Yoga. Therefore, for one who has achieved Atma Jnana and completely detached from the action and full control of their senses, it is obvious they can do Jnana Yoga. For one who has not achieved full Atma Jnana and still attached to some of their actions and results of their actions, and one who hasn't fully controlled their senses, can still start Karma Yoga. There's no other options left other than Karma Yoga for them. What has been told in the sloka, the 25th sloka, is that like how one who doesn't have full Atma Jnana, knowledge of Atma, does action still with some attachment, has not fully controlled their senses, start Karma Yoga. Likewise, even those who have achieved that complete knowledge of Atma, fully detached, and has complete control of their senses, should also perform Karma Yoga, not Jnana Yoga. The difference is the beginner in Karma Yoga does it with attachment, and the qualified candidate for Jnana Yoga does Karma Yoga with detachment and self-control. The reason he continues to do Karma Yoga, though he is qualified to do Jnana Yoga, is to help and set an example for those beginners in Karma Yoga. The second sloka, that is the 26th sloka, na buddhi bhedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayat sarva karmani vidvan yuktaha samacharan. Na buddhi bhedam. Na buddhi bhedam. So the person does not confuse the other practitioners by enforcing their ideas into them, because they can do it. They should not enforce certain things into others. So those who has not Atma Jnana, knowledge of Atma, complete knowledge of Atma, should not disturb the minds of those who has not got the knowledge of Atma. Those who has Atma Jnana should not disturb the minds of those who are attached to their work and results. Those who have Atma Jnana should not disturb the minds of those who are still under the control of their senses. Rather, those people should be able to help the others to rightly direct them by their example and also by guiding them to dovetail their consciousness gradually, help them to become self-realized, help them to become detached and control their senses by a gradual process. By inducing those people who are not ready yet into the Jnana Yoga is buddhi bhedam, means disturbing and confusing them, distracting them in what they are doing already. Because those people will think for self-realization there's another program than Karma Yoga, and they would take up Jnana Yoga immaturely. And we already saw in the previous slokas, a person who takes up Jnana Yoga immaturely are Mithyacharis, they are pretenders, and they will fall down again. Then they will lose the faith in doing their karma, their duty, and also will not attain jnana. Thus, they will lose on both fronts. Here in the sloka, Vidwan Yuktaha Samacharan. Yuktaha, one who does things correctly, rightly. This is an important turning point in the third chapter compared to the second chapter. Whereas in the second chapter, the sequence of self-realization is one perform Karma Yoga and get qualified to start Jnana Yoga, and by doing Jnana Yoga, one have Atma Darshan. One can see the Atma. That was a sequence that is introduced in the second chapter. Whereas in this chapter, in this particular section that we are seeing, it is clear that without the interruption of Jnana Yoga, just by following the Karma Yoga as recommended by Krishna, one can still attain the Atma Darshana. Vidvan Yuktaha Samachanam. So, those people who have complete knowledge of Atma, when they perform Karma Yoga, they inspire others. Therefore, Arjuna, you have no means to escape from doing your duty, karma. 2 reasons, because that is what you need to do as your dharma. That's your dharma. Following a Karma Yoga is your dharma as a Kshatriya. Number 2, you need to do that so the others can follow you on that easy path. These are the 2 reasons. Number 1, that's your dharma. Number 2, to set an example for your followers. This is very important even in our daily life, family life, to set an example to our dependents. Say, if we want some good characters in our children, then the children should see us exhibit those good characters, so they can also develop those good characters. If we want our children to do something nice, good deeds, then they should see us doing some good deeds, so they can also do it. If we want our children to be religious, devoted, more spiritual, then they should see us, their parents, being religious, devoted, and spiritual, so they can also become religious, devoted, and spiritual. So it's very important that we set an example for our dependent. We can't expect the dependent to be perfect, whereas we don't do anything, but we just only instruct them. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work. They should see us. The followers should see us. And by seeing us, then they follow and benefit as well. Even if our children doesn't follow the good actions that we do, it will not go waste, as those actions that we perform, good action that we perform, will be deeply imprinted, rooted. These impressions will be there in the hearts of the children. And that will for sure come to the surface at the right time of their life when they need it. And they will certainly pick those good actions into their life as practice, start practicing them. So from our side, we should not get disappointed if our children are not doing the way that what we do. Rather, with enthusiasm, I'm just saying children, it could be our dependent, anyone. Rather, with enthusiasm, we should do our karma that doesn't create any confusion, doubts in the heart of those who are watching us. By that, they get fully convinced with our action that this is the right way, that they should also follow. To summarize, in the world, most of them doesn't have the full understanding and the knowledge of the Atma. So, being in the material body, we are all bound to do karma. Hence, they will not be able to concentrate. We will not be able to concentrate much on the Atma by taking up Jnana Yoga. When people do their karma yoga, they will be still attached to their thoughts that this is my action, my duty. I'm doing this for my own benefit, get something out of it. Whereas those who are fully aware of Atma, when they do the same karma, they do the action exactly like others, but with a proper understanding that they are not the doer. They are forced to do this because they are entangled in this material body, and it's the body which does the action. Therefore, no benefits or results expected by this action. By doing this way, these Vidvans, meaning those who have full knowledge of Atma, they will inspire the others to also do Karma Yoga more seriously and mature in their consciousness gradually to become more self-realized. Saktaha karmanya vidvamso yata kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvamsata saktaha shikishur loka sangraham na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam joshayat sarva karmani vidvan yukta samacharan. Namaste. Hare Krishna.